All right, I have Ryan Sanders back on the show now, who picked up a huge 25-second head kick knockout of Mark Gardner at NEF 47 just a couple short weekends ago. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, what can I say about this knockout? Is this the signature moment of your career thus far?
I think so, man. To come back after 3.5 years off and to put on like a win like that, like a statement win, like it's kind of a big deal, I think.
Yeah, that's safe to say. So we all know Mark Gardner. I mean, he's a very well-rounded fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. So what was the game plan going into this one? I can't imagine that you thought you were going to get him out of there in less than a minute.
No, man. Like the game plan was to go in and just smash. I thought that he'd come in and try to get the takedown. So we went in there just thinking, sprawl and brawl. I think that's where he was headed. He threw a few kicks. I think he was going to use his kicks to set up his hands that would eventually set up the takedown. But I was able to come out and land that body kick clean. And then the second one, I kind of faked it. I threw up my leg just to show it to him. And then the third one, I went high with it. I think he thought I was going body, and it just missed it. And, landed clean.
I was talking to Primo after the fights, and he was saying that you were snapping those high kicks really, really good in camp, even that day, but before when you were just warming up. Did you feel like maybe you were going to be able to catch him with something high?
I watched. If you watch his last fight against Nick, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but his last fight, Nick caught him with a lead kick to the jaw, but there's no sass on it, so I knew he kept his hands kind of low. So I think watching that fight and just subconsciously, I was able to rip that headshot and it landed clean.
Yeah, I want to tie another one of your fights into this one because I got kind of reminded when one of my favorite fights of yours is when you fought John Manley. And I still think if that was a 5-round fight, you would have ended up getting the win there. But you were doing some trash talking in there. And I noticed that early on in this fight with Mark that you kind of like gave him a look and shook it off like what are you doing? Like, is that something that how do you do that? Like how does that come out of you? Because it just seems so natural.
It's something I do during sparring. Yeah, it's kind of like a little thing that we got going. Like Josh and I will kind of, we'll talk a little trash, and have fun with it. I think that just shows how comfortable I was in there. I had the same mindset as if it was sparring, So Josh and I will have a little fun, and we'll if we land something clean, we'll go okay. But if we check something or we slip something, we look at each other. No, not clean. And that's what I did. Is he threw that kick, and I got out of the way of it, and I looked right at him. I was like, not today, bud. And I think subconsciously he's like, yeah, you're right. I know it's gonna be over soon.
So when you did land that head kick, I mean, to me, I could tell immediately he was out cold. You did land an extra shot when he was down on the ground. Did you not notice that he was out cold, or were you just
super necessary? Like Jorge Masvidal says, it's super necessary. Until the ref stops me, I'm there to finish a guy. And I landed that punch, and then and then the ref got me off him, and I stopped immediately. But until that ref pulls me off of you, I'm coming for you. I'm snatching souls, man. I am snatching souls. That's one. On to the next one.
Okay. And as far as the feeling that you had making that walk to the cage again, because you've been gone for a minute, like, did it feel any different? Were your nerves high at all? Or?
Oh, no. Right at home, man. I felt right at home. I missed it. I mean, like I said in that statement, that right up before, that cage is my home, man. I missed it. And it was good to be back. It was really good to be back. I felt good. Obviously, like I had the nerves that I normally have leading up to a fight. You always go through this roller coaster of emotions. But as soon as I heard my song play, I was like, all right, it's go time.
All right. I love it. What did you think of the venue and just the fans there? I mean, I love the venue. I liked it a lot better than Aura. Like, what was your overall takeaway?
I loved it. I thought it was a lot better than Aura too. Aura's kind of like, unfortunately, I think it's kind of compact, kind of like Sardine-esque. But I think fans like the close knit of the Aura venue and the fact that it has that stadium seating and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the venue. It was a bit smaller than the Coliseo, but I thought it was great, man. I thought it was a great venue, great energy. I think a lot of people were happy for it to be back in the Auburn-Lewiston area. And it was just a good night.
All right, let's break down your teammate Julian Soroy. He had his debut fight, a UD win. It was very wrestling dominant. What's the takeaway from you guys as a team from his performance?
Julian is a straight killer. He is a straight killer, man. I told him it looked like he came out like his opponent had kicked his cat right in front of him. Man, I've never seen someone come out so aggressive before. But I mean, he does that shit to me. He tosses me around like a goddamn ragdoll sometimes. So I'm not surprised that going against a guy his size, he was able to do what he did. He's a 3-time state champion, and it's just the beginning. He's a very raw kid, but he's very talented, athletic, and once we get some hands on him, he's going to be a handful. I mean, he already is a handful, but once we get him throwing some hands and some knees and some kicks, look out for him.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, his fight was a catchweight bout. What will be his weight class moving forward once he is getting back in there?
Yeah, I believe that was at 140, and I believe the goal is to make him 135er, so he'll be a 35er, which is, like I said, I mean, he's going to be a friggin' handful for anybody.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When are we going to see like a big number of Vision Quest fighters on the same card? I know that's what you guys want to have. You guys have a ton of studs in there training day in and day out, and maybe at the next NEF card, we'll have a few more of you guys.
I think we're gonna. The thing is that when you have a bunch of guys on the card, it puts a lot of stress on Primo because being the head coach, he wants to make sure that everyone's getting the same amount of reps and stuff like that for the warmups. So I don't know if we're ever gonna have 6 or 7 guys, maybe one day. But as of right now, I just think he tries to stick to 2 or 3. That way we can get everybody focused. Everyone gets the same amount of attention and during the warm up and stuff like that. And not only that, but you don't want everyone running around. So I think the most we'll probably have is 3, I'd say.
Okay. Well, there was definitely a lot of Vision Quest family in attendance at NEF 47. How many were there total? Do you have any idea as to how many people were there to support you guys?
A shit ton, man. And that's a great word. It's a family. It is a family, man. Like I would do anything for those guys, and they'd do anything for me. And it's a tight, close knit group. And I mean, we must have had 50, I'd say at least 50, maybe more in our little area. So.
Well, so I want to put something out there to the Vision Quest family and the team and all of that. I think something needs to be put up for a vote. And I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but I think your new nickname should be Ryan Stone Cold Sanders. I love the Ryan Sanders, but how awesome is Ryan Stone Cold Sanders? You got to admit that. I mean, I'm not a smart guy. Every once in a while, I'll come up with a nice zinger. This is perfect.
I dig it. And the thing is like, obviously you and I are in that age group, but the younger fans might not know. But yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he would always celebrate with a beer. I think his was Budweiser. I'm more of a PBR guy. If you can't tell by my shirt and stuff like that, and my mullet, I'm white trash through and through, but proud of it. Stone Cold, man, I think I dig that. I dig that nickname.
Okay, so if we put this up for like a vote, I'll talk to Primo about it. And if people vote this in where this would be your new nickname, is this a go? Are you going to go with it?
I'm down, man. I'm down. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll and put it out there and get some feelers for sure. I'm back from 3.5 years off. Let's start new. Let's start fresh. Let's get a new nickname going. And let's get a poll going and go from there. Let the fans decide. Okay,
I love it. So as far as the thought of having that beer post fight, is that something that you already had planned, or was it kind of a spur of the moment thing?
No. Josh and I had that planned for about a month because the last month of camp I went sober and I cleaned up everything. And I just kept telling him, I got to earn my PBR. I got to earn my PBR. I earned it, man. I earned it. So he snuck in a PBR into his fanny pack and was able to get it to me. And I just think that just is like a really dope moment to have.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, can olives go with the PBR, or is that a no-go?
No, absolutely. I'm not a big fan of it. Josh is. It's called a Down East Martini.
Yeah. And I think a Bud Light draft with olives is called a Maine Martini.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Tell me a little bit about just Josh, your relationship, how it's evolving, because I know you guys are always training partners at Young's, but it just seems like right now you guys are closer than ever.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We're like brothers, man. Like we hang out all the time, like in the gym, out of the gym. And we were younger. I think it was kind of like we're full of piss and vinegar, you know. So now that we're like older and wiser, we just want the best for each other. We push each other, and you know, like I said before, you know, sometimes in training I'm the hammer, and sometimes he's the hammer, and it's just we push each other. But there's no like ego involved. It's like I want the best for my brother, and he wants the best for me. And we go hard, but it's at a good pace where it's like afterwards we're like, shit, good work today, good work today. Like yesterday during grappling, he was throwing me in some nasty leg stuff, and he's keeping me on my toes in that instance. And he's come a long way, and he's making me better, and I'm hopefully making him better too.
Do you think that you guys are going to be on the same card here soon, the two of you, maybe NEF 48?
I would love that. That would be dope. That would be really dope. And hopefully it'll come to fruition. It's just a matter of getting a couple knuckleheads that are willing to take that fight with us. You know, like you know, Josh and I are pretty bad dudes, and it's really hard for us to get regional guys to come up here and fight us. You know, like whether it's they make excuses because like they want to fight in their backyard or whatever. But really what it comes down to is there's, you know, even though I've been away for 3.5 years, there's still a bunch of cowards in this sport that try to handpick their opponents, you know? So unfortunately they try to avoid Josh and I, which is understandable. I mean, you see what happens, you know, you get smoked, you get taken care of.
So I think after this big win over Mark Gardner, I think you have the right to call somebody out. Is there somebody that you have at the top of your mind that you would like to fight next? Someone regionally that you feel like makes sense?
Honestly, man, I just want to fight. It doesn't matter. I haven't really kept an eye on the rankings, you know, because I was out and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure who's still floating around. I'll fight anybody. I just want to fight. I just want to stay busy. You know, so anyone out there, July, I think July 30th is the next one for NEF. If you think you want to crack at it, you know, you want to crack at me, let's get it. Let's get it. I mean, I just want to fight. I'm getting a little bit older. I'll be 35 in a couple of weeks, and I just want to smash, man. I want to fight, and I want to see this shit all the way through. That's my goal, is to see it all the way through. That's why I came back. You know, I put a lot of effort and work into it previously, and I just want to see it all the way through.
Man, well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, after this last performance, I mean, I've always been a fan of watching you compete regardless, but this last one, I can't wait to see what is next for you. I mean, what a knockout. And again, the thing that for me that makes it even more impressive is how much respect I have for Mark Gardner. That's a really tough guy. And so
he is, man. That's what I said. I told you, and I told other people, he's a tough kid. And I, you know, I would say it's a lucky shot and whatnot, but like I knew he was gonna be there until he wasn't there. Like that was like, you know, what Coach and I have talked about is he's gonna be there until he's not there. And you know, I was able to set up and land that head kick. But the kid's tough as nails, and I thanked him afterwards because, you know, we had people, like we were going out, like putting my name out to everywhere, and no, it was just going on, you know, deaf ears. So Mark's like took a huge step up in competition, and I'm lucky and I'm grateful, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to fight. So now we're just gonna find someone else, you know, another idiot, and you know, and hopefully it happens, man. I just want to smash.
if it doesn't happen regionally for NEF or another promotion, Bellator, does that make sense? I mean, they're always
Yeah, absolutely. With the right, you know, with the right name, and as far as like with Bellator goes, you know, because I want to make a career out of this still. So I'm not gonna just fight someone like on 2 weeks notice just to be like, oh, I'm fighting for Bellator. Like I'm on 4 straight wins, 9 of my last 10. I want to keep that momentum going, and I don't want to take like a tough out just to tell people I fought for Bellator. You know, Primo is making all the moves for me. He's making, I trust him. So whatever he decides, I'm down. But regionally, I'll fight anybody in the region, because I just don't think anyone's on my level. And I think I showed that. And like I said before, the more time they give Primo and I to work together, train together, it's gonna be worse. You know, I'm only getting better. You know, and Primo's giving me a lot of new techniques, but he's also giving me confidence, and that's what I kind of struggle with my striking, is lack of confidence. So being with Primo is a game changer. Training with Josh is a game changer, and not only that, but all the other guys too. They're all studs, and I'm in a good environment right now. And whoever shows up in July or September or whatever, they're gonna get a whooping.
Can't wait to see it, man. Always great talking to you, Ryan. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where to follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, floor is yours.
I'm on the Facebook, Ryan Sanders. I don't have any sponsors yet, you know. Just I want to thank all my teammates, man, my Vision Quest boys, you know, Timmy, Randall, Jeff, Brandon, Austin, Chainsaw, Harvey, Primo, like you know, all my boys, man. Like Julian, obviously, I wouldn't be anywhere without them, man. Like they're such a like in and outside the gym. They've really helped me out a lot in the last 8 months, and I'm forever grateful for my brothers. Oh, and Chris Gaudet, can't forget Pops. But yeah, and Max too. But yeah, all those guys, man, they're good. They're good dudes, and I'm grateful to have them in my life. You know, I finally feel like I've surrounded myself with the right people, and you see the results.